Here we go again. They can't stop. I keep telling y'all, they cannot stop. A'ja Wilson wins Time Athlete of the Year. And rather than talking about herself, what does she want to do? She wants to down Caitlin Clark. She wants to downplay the impact and disrespect CeCe and the fans. And it just never, ever
created history right now. Music once more. The ironic part is that it did not turn out as most people had anticipated. It didn't originate from the league's biggest name. The player who has spent the last few years ensuring that everyone knew she was the biggest name in the league did not come up with it. It originated from a modest, quiet center for the Indiana Fever who just went out, performed her duties, earned her stripes, and then collected appropriately.
I knew it was in the works, but I mean, I saw it on social media and just super happy for her. Largest salary in WNBA history over the course of the deal. So nobody more deserving, really happy for her. And, you know, happy that she gets to spend more time here because these fans really love her. This organization really loves her. And I've loved getting to play with her every single second. Like, she's not only a great basketball player, but one of my good friends. So really happy to celebrate her.
Yeah, I was super blessed. God is great, man. Just to be here, be with the Fever, get that extension. I'm super excited about it. The staff is super excited, and I feel like this is where I'm at right now.
Aliyah Boston recently inked the highest compensation package in WNBA history. An agreement with the Indiana Fever worth $6.30 million for 4 years. And the phone fell somewhere in Las Vegas.
WNBA is coming in hot because they have signed A'ja Wilson with a record-breaking deal, which is a 3-year, $5 million Supermax contract, which is the largest, most historical contract ever signed. And this makes her the highest paid WNBA player in history.
Whoa. The sequence of events here is almost too precisely timed to be coincidental, so let's take a step back and give us the context it needs. A'ja Wilson, a 4-time MVP and 2-time Finals MVP, who is perhaps the best player in NBA history based on her resume, had recently signed a Supermax contract just days before Boston's agreement was revealed. A $5 million, 3-year contract with the Las Vegas Aces. Wilson said it with the enthusiasm of someone who has just hoisted a flag atop a mountain. The pinnacle of an illustrious career. The WNBA player with the highest salary. Completely stop.
Okay. Just give me my money.
Have great players, you need to treat them like that. And that's top to bottom. That's in the top to bottom. When you have great players, you need to treat them like that. And there's been a lot of eyes on this.
However, it wasn't a complete stop. It was more like to a brief pause. Because Wilson's name was removed from the top of that wage chart after Aliyah Boston's contract was signed less than 48 hours later.
Well, they say A'ja Wilson just signed a 3-year, $5 million contract. And I'm going to be honest, man, where is this money coming from? Now, I'm not saying she don't deserve the money. That's not what I'm saying. But, yeah, man, they've already paid a lot of people. They went out and even got Kennedy Carter, all type of stuff. You know, she might be doing that for free. But it's something up with Las Vegas and New York, man. It's I feel like a lot of malpractice going on.
This is when things start to get interesting. There were 2 distinct types of conversations when the WNBA player community began discussing Boston's offer. People were celebrating it on one side, a youthful athlete receiving compensation. The new CBA is providing the exact music that the players expressed a desire for. The contracts being distributed are finally reflecting market worth. Conversely, there was frustration, obvious annoyance, the kind that prompts you to confirm the identity of the poster before forming an opinion. Because some of the same folks who had been vocally calling for better contracts, bigger earnings, and greater respect for WNBA players for the past 2 years were suddenly apparently outraged that a WNBA player had received both. And throughout all of that annoyance, Aliyah Boston's name continued appearing next to Caitlin Clark's.
It's a deal that's changing lives in real time and also for generations to come.
It is the largest salary jump in all of sports history. So what details can you share about the deal?
Well, I mean, like, to my understanding, it is the single largest jump. And with that, we were able to, as many have seen, report a 7-figure max salary. That includes increases in, obviously, salary, minimum, average, and max. It includes retirement benefits, specifically something that reflects our appreciation for those who came before.
Let's now discuss what really made this agreement possible, because comprehending the entire picture greatly depends on its structure. The EPIC provision was part of the new collective bargaining agreement that the players pushed hard for, and it was meant to be the big leap forward. Music for WNBA salaries. This represents outstanding achievement under the original contract. It is easy to use. If a player has won an MVP award or been selected to the first or second team of the WNBA during her first 3 seasons, she may renegotiate her rookie contract early. Aliyah Boston was eligible. In 2025, she was selected for the All-WNBA second team. The box was checked by her. She made use of the clause. She was compensated. There isn't a loophole there. That isn't a quick fix. Music. The CBA was created with that exact mechanism in mind, and Boston used it just as music was supposed to be used. The irony is that some of the same players who advocated for the CBA, music, and who hailed it as a victory and evidence that the league was at last heading in the right way are now subtly unhappy with the result. Because Aliyah Wilson was given more than just a road under the CBA. Every player who was skilled enough to navigate it was given a path. Aliyah Boston also strolled past it.
He got a big paycheck. She's staying for the Fever for the long term, which means she believes in the vision, which that's great. That's a big deal. Indiana Fever did a great job because the following year she would be a free agent. So we don't want Boston to go away because she's a big asset. And I'm gonna be honest, she's the catalyst to the championship. I love Caitlin Clark. I'm a big Caitlin Clark fan. Kelton Mitchell can definitely shoot it. However, is Aliyah Boston the catalyst? Because if she becomes a monster, if she becomes an MVP level type of player, this team is going to win a championship and it's going to be steamroll.
This is the part of the story that truly merits praise, because it reveals a lot about Aliyah Boston's character as a person and as a player. Boston didn't simply sign the largest contract in WNBA history and call it quits. With her team's future in mind, she carefully and purposefully structured the agreement. Boston only pays $1 million less than her market worth in the first year of her agreement, which is less than what the contract ultimately increases to. And she did it deliberately. Kelsey Mitchell was able to sign a $1.4 million supermax due to that cap flexibility. It contributed to Lexi Hull's return. Sophie Cunningham was able to stay in Indianapolis because to it. In addition to ensuring she was the highest-paid athlete in league history, Boston effectively built a squad around her. It's more than just a star player. Making judgments at the franchise level is based on that. Now contrast that with the circumstances in Las Vegas. According to reports, Wilson's Supermax forced colleagues to accept wage reductions in order for her to secure her top-of-market contract. Wilson's pay was the focal point of the Aces reorganization. Boston's generosity served as the foundation for the Fever's reorganization. These are 2 very distinct accounts of 2 very different types of leadership.
Do you want to be partners?
Yes.
Okay. What song do you want to perform?
High School Musical soundtrack?
Yeah, High School Musical. That's what we're going with. Or some JB.
And take a look at what the Fever have constructed in Indianapolis to see why this is important for reasons other than contract numbers. Their roster is youthful and eager. Their fan base has grown to become one of the most talked about groups in women's basketball. They have Caitlin Clark, who is the most marketable player in this league's history by all objective commercial standards. And now they have Aliyah Boston, the highest paid player in WNBA history. However, this is the statistic that should truly astound you. In 2027, Caitlin Clark will be eligible for Epic. She might sign a contract that matches or perhaps surpasses Boston's $6.3 million if she receives the appropriate selection or award, which, given her trajectory, is not completely out of the question. In that scenario, the Indiana Fever would have both of the biggest contracts in WNBA history at the same time. Just one franchise, two deals that broke records. Music in this league that has never occurred. Never before has music even come close to happening. And for Indiana, it's just around the corner.
A'ja Wilson clearly hates Caitlin Clark. I mean, clearly. What bothered her the most was the fact that she got this popularity, and she actually said it herself that she felt like history was being erased. Read the magazine. Read the article. She really hates Caitlin Clark. On top of that, the writer, whoever wrote this, hates her too, because she said, yeah, Caitlin Clark brought this toxic fanship, brought the toxicity to the league. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's nonsense. That's straight bullshit.
Let's now discuss this larger pattern, because Wilson's response to Boston's deal has nothing to do with Boston itself. For the past 2 years, Aliyah Wilson has been creating a far longer story, of which Boston is only the most recent chapter. Wilson strongly objected when Caitlin Clark signed the largest women's basketball shoe contract in Nike history. Wilson made remarks when Clark was voted Time Music Athlete of the Year. Wilson made sure her voice was heard when the topic of Clark's endorsement revenue and speaking fees came up. There has been a persistent attempt to portray Clark's business success as somehow out of proportion, unjustified, or unearned. However, this is what that argument consistently encounters. Favoritism or feeling have no bearing on Clark's commercial success. It is predicated on quantifiable, verifiable audience reach and brand ROI. When she performs, arenas sell out, ratings increase, products are moved. On the back end of transactions with her name attached, sponsors see actual numbers. It's not a contest of popularity. The market is reacting to the demand. Furthermore, no amount of public annoyance can alter the underlying